What's going on, everyone? We're back in the kitchen today and we're discussing how to choose the perfect watermelon at the supermarket. So I know it's really challenging. You never know what you're really getting until you come home and you cut the watermelon in half. But I've got a few tips, a few suggestions, and hopefully they work out well for you just like they've been working out for me. Now let's get started. So the first thing you do when you're looking at the watermelons, you want to look for coloring. Okay, you don't want to choose a solid colored watermelon. You want to make sure it has contrast. You want the green to be nice and dark, a nice forested green. Then you want to make sure that the contrast light color is a creamy yellowy color. Okay, so this is the #1 indicator before moving forward. Now, once you've chosen that this is the colorway you want to look for the spot. Everyone knows about the spot, but no one is really sure what they're looking for. So you want to make sure that the spot is nice and yellow. The more yellow, the more time it had to sit and ripen on the vine. And that's really important. So yellow spot is #2. #3, you want to choose a watermelon when you look at the stem, and you want to make sure the stem is brown. You want to make sure that it's not green, because if it's a green stem, that means it was pulled off of the vine prematurely and it did not have enough time to sit and ripen. So brown stem is what I look for. The fourth step, what I do is I actually lift the watermelon and I make sure that the watermelon is heavier than it actually looks. So that's another indicator. Fifth indicator is typically what everyone does, but they're not really sure what they're listening to, is the knock, right? Everyone knocks on the watermelon. So you want to listen to that perfect hollow sound. If it's too hollow, that means it's not going to be good. If it's not hollow at all, that means it hasn't been completely ripened. So you want to listen to that sound and give it a couple taps and hear that perfect hollow sound. Now, the final step is you give it a little bit of a push with your thumb. And if it gives you a little give, like this one is giving, just a little give, that means you have yourself a perfect ripened watermelon. If it's too hard, it hasn't ripened yet. So those are my suggestions, those are my tips, and let's get started cutting this watermelon up and see if we've actually got a winner.
Now, depending on the size of the watermelon, I typically like to use an 8-inch knife. I insert the knife directly on top into the stem and press down. This gives us 2 halves. I like to cut my half into quarters, so I insert the knife directly on top, slide and press at the end. This gives us 2 equal quarters. There are many ways of cutting watermelons. This quarter, I'd like to cut into slices. And the best way, I figured, you put the quarter flat onto the cutting board so it doesn't slide around. You insert your knife directly on top, press down, and it gives you nice, clean cut slices. Let's take a close-up of this watermelon. The coloring is perfect, red and pink all around. Let's break a piece off. Nice and crisp, just the way we like it. Now the taste test, very sweet, very, very sweet. Now I'd like to show you a really interesting tool I found online. This cuts the watermelon into perfect cubes. Now you want to make sure the watermelon is cut in half. You insert the tool directly in the middle, and the propeller blade makes beautiful, perfect square cubes. And there you have it. That's how I cut my watermelon. So long, and on to the next one.